couple months ago, Justice Alito's draft opinion that, if it became a decision, would overturn Roe v. Wade was leaked. And in the wake of that, violent activists have harassed justices at their homes. They've also targeted pro-life groups more than 40 times. There have been dozens of attacks on churches and pro-life pregnancy counseling centers in recent months. Here's just a sampling of them.
If abortions aren't safe, then you aren't either. That's just part of the message outside Wisconsin Family Action here, and it continues inside the building. Madison police say it appears someone threw a Molotov cocktail inside the building.
This building was up in flames this morning when police and firefighters arrived, and this is the aftermath. Broken windows, shattered glass, and graffiti. CEO Jim Hardin says this didn't come as a complete shock. Recently, Compass Care has been receiving threats online and in person. The graffiti on the side of the building says Jane was here, and Hardin says he thinks the abortion rights group Jane's Revenge is behind the attack.
Well, Nancy Pelosi, who, as she has told us many times, is very Catholic, was given a chance to condemn these attacks, which would seem to be very easy for any humane person who believes in law and decency. Instead, here's what Nancy Pelosi said.
There has been a number of attacks on churches, on crisis pregnancy centers. Republicans are going after Democrats for not saying anything, and they're saying that your rhetoric is contributing to these attacks on these crisis pregnancy centers.
Well, let me just say this. A woman has a right to choose, to live up to her responsibility. It's up to her, her doctor, her family, her husband, her significant other, and her God. I'm a very Catholic person, and I believe in every woman's right to make her own decisions.
So how hard is it to say, if you're purportedly a Christian, and she claims to be, throws it in your face, in fact, told us several years ago that MS-13 were children of God. How hard is it to say, you know, whatever you think about abortion, I'm for it, you're against it, fine. You can't attack churches, and you can't attack faithful Christians because they're Christians. But she couldn't say that, which shows you that she's not a Christian. She's a poser and an abettor of violence. Victor Davis Hanson is a senior fellow at the Hoover Institution. He joins us tonight. Professor, thanks so much for coming on. Kind of chilling that the Speaker of the House can't just flatly condemn attacks on churches?
Yeah, I think there's two messages, Tucker. The most immediate is deterrence. And I think when you can get away with attacking pro-life groups, or you can swarm the houses, and that's a felony to do so, Supreme Court justices, and intimidate them, or you can swarm a Catholic diocese and break in during a service, and there's no consequences. That sends a message. And the message the left wants to send is, you better be careful, because the government is on our side and not on your side, and they're going to selectively prosecute or arrest. And that's the message. And it also empowers their own people, it emboldens them. If we get away with putting graffiti on a person's office or burning down, what's the next thing? The second message is, I hesitate to say this, Tucker, but I don't think we're a society that is ruled by law. We're in a revolutionary period right now, something like 18th century France or 1920s Russia, where the law is fluid and it's whatever the power to be says it is. So if you're, just to take some examples, if you're James O'Keefe, or you're Peter Navarro, or you're Roger Stone, you're going to have an FBI come down on you like you don't know what. But if you refuse a subpoena like Eric Holder did, or if you lie to a federal investigator like Andrew McCabe did, or you lie under oath to the U.S. Congress like both John Brennan and James Clapper, there's no consequences, very little. And so the law is designed that on the premise that the noble ends justifies any means necessary. And the left has defined those means as radical equality, fairness, social justice, not the constitutional law. And so I think right now people are really weird, bizarre. They see May 31st, 2020, a mob from Lafayette Square tries to torch down a historic church, tries to swarm on federal property, the White House grounds, sends the president into a bunker with his family, and there's very little consequences as compared to January 6th. And so I think the law is very fluid. Merrick Garland is much to blame, so is Joe Biden.
Yes.
it's part of the left ideology that's in ascendance right now. And it's very scary because I think most Americans realize if you are a particular political persuasion and you break the law or you're accused of breaking the law, you're going to be treated very differently.
Oh, very
than
differently.
Others.
Yeah. Stephen Colbert is exulting in that fact tonight. Victor Davis Hanson, great to see you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.